Good evening, everyone. This is your evening news recap, your nightly news podcast on all the news that I come across throughout the day, giving you my take as somebody who aspires to be a politician in the near future. Hopefully, all you guys are doing wonderful. Hopefully, all you guys are doing well. Today is September 9th. It is Tuesday. It's definitely been an interesting day in the news world, but hopefully, all you guys had a wonderful day at work or wherever. But with that being said, though, let's get into the news from today. Also, if you're new here, please subscribe as we are on our way to 500 subscribers. We are literally one subscriber away from 300. So if you're new here, please subscribe. All the support would be greatly appreciated. Anyways, moving into the Trump administration segment, as we do, the first topic we have today is Trump has called the letter that he sent to Epstein for his birthday a dead issue. Trump has declined to comment on the letter in Epstein's birthday book, calling it a dead issue. Trump told NBC News, "I don't want to comment on something that's a dead issue. I gave all my comments to my staff. It's a dead issue." This is not a dead issue. In fact, it's one of the most important ones right now and has been for the last 3 months. We can't let Trump get away with the fact that he is inside of the Epstein files and is likely all over them. He is a disgusting human being. I mean, that's obvious, but also, if he is 100% in those files for terrible things, he shouldn't be allowed to just walk around and do as he pleases. He should be prosecuted for those disgusting actions. I mean, that should be plain and simple. In other news, talking about the files, the letter to Jeffrey Epstein, or another letter has been found sent to Jeffrey Epstein that jokes about selling a woman to Trump. The House Oversight Committee has released more letters from Epstein's birthday book, including names and people who wrote letters and the letters themselves. One letter to Epstein sent by Josh Pashkow consisted of a letter and picture with an oversized check for $500,000 with what looks to be Trump's signature on the message below, reading, "Jeffrey showing in early talents with money plus woman sells fully deprecated redacted name to Donald Trump for $2,200,000. That's not the word. $22,000. Boom. I don't know why I struggled with that number. The photo also includes a face of a girl who is also redacted. Do you guys remember when Bill Clinton was impeached for lying about an affair? I mean, I wasn't alive yet, but I do know the story. Hopefully that doesn't make a bunch of you feel old. It really makes you wonder what requirements are for impeachment these days, because if you compare that story to all of the shit that the Trump administration has done, you'd think he'd be impeached hundreds of times by now, yet he hasn't. And it's honestly so dumb. And I know he's been impeached outside of being in office, but you'd think at this point there'd at least be one. And an impeachment isn't even removing him from office; it's just basically a slap on the wrist. You'd think there'd be at least one at this point. In other news, moving on into our ICE segment today, we have two topics. The first one being Trump has officially launched Chicago operations. ICE has launched increased operations in Chicago. The Department of Homeland Security said in a statement that it was called Operation Midway Blitz. They are yet to announce the use of the National Guard in the city, but Trump has continuously talked about doing so for weeks, so it wouldn't be shocking if that happened. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson said on Twitter, "Chicago doesn't want to see reckless, unconstitutional, militarized immigration enforcement in our city." Fuck ICE, genuinely. I'm sure we will see it, but I really hope that we do see, what we saw happen in LA, in Chicago. The amount of protests, the amount of people who came out and took a stand against these officers. I really hope that's something we see again. These people are terrorizing families, they're terrorizing communities day after day, and it needs to stop. It really does. I hope we don't see any National Guard involvement. But I wouldn't be shocked if that happened. I really wouldn't. Trump's talked about it for weeks now. That's his whole charade. And even though it is illegal and would be an illegal invasion of another city within the United States, he did it in LA, and I wouldn't be shocked if he did it here as well. But don't let that scare you. Just because they're standing for a horrible cause doesn't mean that you should fear them. Let them know that they're standing for a horrible cause. Let them know that they are breaking the law and following an unlawful order. I mean, the morale is already low. We've seen reports about it. So let them know, drill it in even more. In other news, ICE has dropped requirements for agents to fill out paperwork before arrests. The Trump administration has removed a policy that requires ICE agents to fill out paperwork before carrying out their arrests. It's unclear when this happened, but it did happen before this summer, making it easier for these agents to carry out their arrests. This has set alarms off as the Trump administration has approved raids in Chicago and as arrests in DC and LA continue. This is kind of crazy because this has been months and there has been no public knowledge about this, yet they still can't even meet their quotas. It once again shows that ICE is a failing agency and continuously cannot do their job. ICE needs to be shut down. I mean, it is clearly a waste of taxpayer dollars for one, but also it is, attacking communities and the rights of Americans, which is not okay. Fuck ICE and fuck Trump, genuinely. Also, side note, if you're going to the Keep ICE Out protest at the Auraria College campus in Denver, come and say hello. I will be there. If you're in the area and you would like to attend, it's on September 16th at 12:15 p.m. in front of the college campus library. Fuck ICE. Don't let them on the college campus. That's cringe. Anyways, moving on into our other news segment, we have one final topic for today. That one being Israel has struck Qatar. Israel has struck Qatar's capital, claiming they were striking Hamas leaders within the city. It's unknown who exactly was targeted, but the IDF said in a statement that they have targeted senior leadership of Hamas with a precise strike. This is the first time that Israel has launched strikes on Qatar, who hasn't militarily been involved with the conflict. This is absolutely fucking insane. Israel has struck another country's capital who wasn't even involved militarily in the war. The most Qatar has really done at all is promote and host peace talks and also, support the Gaza side of the war. Yet Israel is carrying out strikes on its capital city when they aren't even, military involved in any way, which is insane. Israel needs to receive repercussions for this on the world stage, and they need to lose Western and especially American support. They are continuously a terrorist state, and it is U.S. taxpayer dollars that are not only funding the entire country, really, but the U.S. taxpayer dollars are funding that as a whole. And that needs to stop and be taken away because, for one, we shouldn't be sending so much of our tax dollars to Israel, but also, we should not be funding a terrorist organization, plain and simple. With that being said, though, hopefully you all enjoyed today's episode. It has definitely been an interesting one, that's for sure. If you're new here, like I said, please subscribe as we are on our way to 500 subscribers, and I would really appreciate all the support. It would be so awesome. If you're on Substack, please also consider subscribing. All funds go to me. They will help me pay for the things that I need to pay for in college, like food, like clothing, like all that. But if not, you can always subscribe for free. I truly do appreciate all forms of support on this content. It means the world to me. Thank you all so much for watching today's episode, and I will see you all in the next one.